and welcome to this week's Tiff and Tony show. Tony, hello. How are you? Where are you today? Just 10-second check-in. Go.
Yes. Well, I am where I'm always at, here at my desk. I'm doing well. This week is starting off to be a good week. There's lots of really good, fun stuff happening this week. Where are you?
I am on the side of the road. It's kind of cool. We're doing a Tiff and Tony show. I'm in Nevada, camped in the desert last night with my dog, and then this morning I got up and drove until I had service. So hello.
What's the plan? What are you doing?
I'm still exploring as long as I can work remotely and digitally. My next plan is I would like some water in my life, not just drinking water. I mean, water my dog and I can swim in. So I will be heading towards either a river, a lake, preferably near a forest or some hot springs. And as I brainstorm for the Friday challenge.
Nice. I like it. I love what you're doing.
Yes, thanks.
So it's actually, this brings us into something that I thought of talking about just this morning, in fact. And that's this human need for security, safety, and comfort. We all crave it. We all need it, and that's challenging in this time of COVID. But also, what we really long for as human beings is adventure and newness, something that's exciting, that creates a creative spark in us, and we all long for that. And heard someone explain it this morning that it was, think about a child and a mother, and the child is in the warm embrace of the mother, comfortable, secure, and safe, and then the mum says, go play. And so the child kind of toddles off and starts to walk in towards the playground, but halfway there will turn around just to make sure, right, that they're safe. And we need that, right? We need that security, that there's some safety, but also we long for adventure, exploration, and something that challenges us. And it's a little bit of a dichotomy there, right, that we're struggling constantly for. So what do you think about that in your situation, sitting on the side of the road adventuring?
So in my process, I may not have directly mentioned that I have been pursuing therapy. And one of the things that my therapist we've talked through is the idea that what you explained are signs of a secure attachment. And so a child has preferably their parent, one or both, and they feel safe and loved and cared for. And as the child gets older, it's natural part of human behavior and curiosity to adventure beyond the scope of that little safety net of the parents. And that's the exploration, that's the adventure, that's seeing what the world has to hold, knowing that you can come back to the safe place. And when we get to those places as humans and as adults, that's a really good marker that we have a secure attachment with. Whether, as adults, we're not obviously as attached to our parents, but it's maybe having that healthy interaction with ourselves in the world. And so I feel like that's what I'm able to do right now is I've gotten to a place where I'm much healthier emotionally and mentally and physically and spiritually, all the aspects of our human selves. And I'm able to really enjoy and adventure and explore and have fun and have that sense of safety inside, from a spiritual perspective and my beliefs in that sense. I have a safety with in my faith. And yeah, I'm literally sitting on the side of the road and it's kind of cool that we're doing this from a 2-lane highway. I can see the mountains and the foothills. It's smoky, which I'm sure it's smoky by you. My dog is sitting right there. I will quickly show everyone my dog if you can see him. He's just chilling. And yeah, it feels really good and cool that this is where we're at doing a Tiff and Tony show.
Yeah, I love that. And for our kids, just to really kind of take this home. So many of them will have grown up not having that secure attachment, and that's really
Right.
important. But if you haven't got that secure attachment, what are some of the steps that you can take to create a security within yourself? Give me 2 or 3 little things that you go, yeah, I can start doing that to start to create more of a secure attachment.
That is such a good question. And I do want to also reiterate that I grew up never feeling safe, not having a secure attachment, whether that was physically, emotionally, in all the ways. And it's something that I've been able to grow into as an adult, and having mentors and people take me in a little bit, walk with me through hard times. And so hopefully this can be huge encouragement for you that there is hope. We and other people in your lives want to walk with you and support you. You're not alone. You're never alone, even if it feels that way. And so some small steps that I think have been helpful in my life that might be helpful for you if you're listening are really just learning how to be in tune with what's going on internally. We talk about that so much here on the Tiff and Tony show. I talk about it in my Friday challenge. It's one of the values I think that kind of carries our Pure Game curriculum. And so even if it's as little as journaling one word or one sentence, or taking 5 minutes to think about, like, okay, what am I feeling right now? What am I thinking right now? It doesn't always have to be feelings. It doesn't always have to be thoughts. It could be, okay, what does my body literally feel like? Are my feet cold? Does the ground feel stable? So it's tuning into what's going on internally, whether that's emotions or thoughts. It's grounding yourself literally to the earth. Um, and let me think, like a third thing I think is for me is my dog. So finding something that you do have in your life that brings you comfort, joy. It could be a stuffed animal, it could be a sibling, it could be a friend, it could be a blanket, it could be a pet. For me, it's my dog Ruger. It could be a tree that you like to climb in, that you can feel safe and strong, and maybe you need to feel hidden to feel comfort in that moment. Maybe it's lighting a candle, maybe it's taking a bath. I mean, whatever it looks like for you. Sometimes for me it's turning on a song that I really like. Sometimes it's um hugging a friend. Sometimes it's just hearing a friend's voice or high-fiving a stranger. And I know some of these things are challenging during COVID. So be creative. So to recap, connect with your inner self, thoughts, emotions, whatever it kind of feels like inside. Connect with your external self. What does your body physically feel like, or what does the ground feel like? What does the air feel like? All of our physical touch senses, and find something that brings you comfort, whether it's a pet, a tree, the breeze, a song, a nap, whatever.
So I agree with you. There's not anything that I would add to that, in as much as there's 3 great steps there. And I'm going to take us back a little bit to the tiny habits routine,
Yes.
because I've got my journal right here and I write in it now daily. But my tiny habit is I'm sitting at my work desk, and this sits on my work desk. And so my tiny habit is, remember, anchoring it to something. So my action is I sit down, so I anchor it to that. So after I sit down at my desk, I will open my journal,
Mm.
and then I will celebrate with a big smile. So that's my tiny habit routine. That's my recipe, right? Because I've got
Mm.
a thing that I always do. I always sit at this desk when I work. And so my tiny new habit is opening it, and then the celebration is a smile. And there are days where I just open it, and that's it. But at least I accomplished the tiny habit. And there are more days where I write in it. and in the writing, it's very reflective writing. Sometimes it's just a mind dump. So sometimes I just write, and I have no idea what I'm writing half the time. But then when I read it back, I'm surprised at what I did actually just get out of my mind, and let it go. So it's called free form writing, right? Free writing, where you just write for 2 minutes. Sometimes I'll write lists. If I want to be creative, I'll just write a list, and it could be, I've got these little wristbands, right? What are as many things I can use this wristband for, right? Hair tie, elastic band, little slingshot, and I'll write as many as I can, because it gets the creative juices going, and then that takes me out of that current situation into something bigger. So tiny habits, journaling is one of my big things. So our challenge to you this week is, when you're feeling kind of like we do as human beings, that need for safety and security, but also the dilemma of wanting a challenge and something new, it can be confusing and it can be overwhelming. 3 things that you can do. You can journal. You can get some of the things that are going on in here and in here out and on paper. You can be in touch with your surroundings, like Tiffany said, touch, feel, smell, whatever it is, and then find something that comforts you, whether it be a blanket, whether it be a dog, whether it be climbing a tree, whatever it is. Find that attachment, find that thing that makes you feel safe. And within that, then challenge yourself to step out a little bit into the unknown and try something new. Just try one thing new every day that just stretches you a little bit. And in doing that, suddenly you'll start to fulfill the inner need in human beings for excitement and newness and something else. So that's our challenge for you this week. We look forward to hearing from you, as always. Tiffany, anything else from you?
No, I don't. That was great.
That is awesome.
I
And
usually don't actually have nothing to say. I say that and then I have like 5 things to say. No, that's great. I love it.
And the awesome thing about that little thing there is your no also came into a little glitch on your phone. So it went on for a couple of minutes, and it was awesome. And I love it because it was an emphasized no. So we will see you back here in 2 weeks' time.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining this week's episode of the Tiff and Tony Show. Go out there, stretch yourself, and then come back and find something comforting and grounding. And with that, we will see you right back here in 2 weeks.